What's up, everybody? Back for another live duo beer review. And today, I'm once again joined by my buddy Todd, who has joined me before for live duo beer reviews. We've done Samuel Adams Oktoberfest, I believe, and Schlafly's Pumpkin Ale, right, Todd?
Yep, correct.
What's going on tonight, buddy?
Not much. Just sitting back, ready to drink a couple beers. Been a stressful, busy week at work, and kind of glancing at and watching my Hoosiers try to keep their tournament hopes alive tonight.
And that's
interested to dive into this one.
Yeah, so Todd is the 450 North hookup. Well, Todd and Shannon now. Last time they went and waited in line and got some 450 North beers. If you see 450 North beers reviewed on my channel, they're coming from Todd and his wife, Shannon. And in return for the last haul that he sent my way, I sent him some Other Half beers, and I actually sent him an Imperial Stout. So the beer we're reviewing today comes from, of course, the Other Half Brewing Company out of both Brooklyn and Rochester, New York. Settle down, Eric Gilbert. Settle down, Paul. Settle down, everybody. And this is their Droppin Millibars. So this is what they're calling an Imperial Stout that is brewed with toasted cacao nibs. Coffee, vanilla, and Ceylon cinnamon comes in at 13.2% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in the time of review. There is no bottling date, but I do know this is pretty damn fresh. I would put this no older than probably 3 weeks old or so. So now Todd and I, we haven't had a ton of Other Half beers. Todd, right? I only sent you the Bad Decision, which you forgot you even had.
Yeah. Yeah, outside of that one, everything else has been IPA heavy, which I guess is to be expected from the Other Half. But
yeah, for the most part, I've full disclosure, I've had this beer on tap about 3 months ago, but I only had 2 or 3 ounces, and it was ice cold. I let it try to warm up a bit. I do remember enjoying it, but that version was 12%. This is 13.2, so I don't know if every single batch of this has a different percentage, but this is a big beer. Anyway, we're gonna crack it open. So the one thing about Other Half stouts is more often than not, they're pastry stouts. And I was talking to Todd off camera about this. I don't know if you would consider this a pastry stout. It definitely is an adjunct stout, but I don't know if they're necessarily going for like a big dessert beer. But there is cacao nibs, there's vanilla, there's cinnamon, and there's coffee. So probably so. Yeah.
A lot of smoke coming out of the
top.
Oh,
settle down, Joe. He likes that smoke, baby, the vapors. So we both have had this. I've had this out of the fridge for almost an hour now, and I think Todd said around 35, 40 minutes. So we're definitely drinking it 50 plus, maybe not straight room temperature like certain individuals, Paul. Anyway, what do you think it looks like here, Todd? Pitch black.
Darkness. Yeah, total darkness. Can't see anything coming through on the other side. A lot of bubbles, small bubbles, and then just I don't know, half a finger, creamy mocha colored head.
And the man says he can't do beer reviews. Yes, pretty much spot on. It does look creamy. It's definitely mocha, maybe even into virgin dark brown. But I'm surprised that this even has a head considering the ABV. And there is freaking alcohol sheets on the sides, not even legs, just straight sheets. It's insane.
Yeah.
But it plays the role.
Didn't say the same thing.
Were you?
Similar.
Great
Maybe
minds.
Not exact, but similar.
Great minds think alike. Anyway, let's get a nose on it.
That's right.
Ooh, that cinnamon's coming off pretty big for me. And the coffee.
Yeah, definitely getting the coffee. I'm definitely smelling some of the alcohol presence in it.
Yeah, you know what? With the cinnamon mixing with the alcohol, I'm getting like chili peppers. That's what I'm getting. Like, is that what you're getting too?
Yeah, kind of. Now that you say that, I was thinking, what is that? It doesn't really smell like cinnamon, but kind of pepperish. Now that you say that, it's totally what it.
And there's none in here, according to the label. According to
almost more like a chili pepper type.
Yeah.
Aroma to it. Definitely getting coffee. I'm not really getting any hints of vanilla or anything. I guess the cinnamon is what the pepper smell is.
Yeah, I'd say I'm definitely getting coffee and cinnamon and a little bit of a chili pepper from the alcohol mixing with the cinnamon. A touch of chocolate, but like a really like baker's chocolate, bittersweet chocolate. It smells interesting. It doesn't smell what I necessarily thought a 13.2% Imperial Stout with those 4 adjuncts in there. I didn't think it would smell like this. I want to say I'm a little bit underwhelmed, just to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I can see that. I guess I wasn't sure what to expect because I've not really, other than the one had a stout of this nature from Other Half, but
would you say it smells overly sweet to you? Because I feel it smells sweet, but not like crazy sweet.
no, I feel more of the alcohol presence on it than anything, which I think is kind of killing the sweetness. So I'm kind of interested in the taste because it's probably going to be a complete 180, and you're going to get more sweetness in the flavor than, you know, kind of like in the peanut butter type stouts or porters that you drink. It's all peanut butter, and when you drink it, you're like, oh, total letdown. You know, this might be a complete opposite. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. And I've had a couple other half beers recently where the nose was kind of disappointing. I tasted it and did a complete 180. I will read comments before we dive into this to, you know, need some suspense. We have Eric. Eric Lions fan says, "What's up, gents?" What's up, Eric?
What's up, Eric?
Then we have Eric Gilbert says, "Cheers, opening acts, you mother effer." And then he says, "Should be about to distill temp, sons." I'm gonna need you to settle down, Paul. I mean, Eric. And then Rajay says, "Cheers, all, loving the warm up." And yeah, I want to quickly shout out, and I'll talk about it at the end, but at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you watch this on the replay, you just ignore it. You can go watch the replay of what I'm about to say, but we're going to do the Beer Flow show over on Rajay's channel, Rajay Beer Ventures. It's going to be Todd, it's going to be myself, and Eric over at Eric Lions Fan, along with obviously Rod. Should be a lot of fun. But in the meanwhile, we're going to review this beer poorly and probably get hammered. So let's get into it. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's pretty good. I'll tell you right now.
It is a little bit sweeter than I was, because to me on the nose it wasn't much sweetness, but it's sweeter in the taste than, like we were saying, you know.
And I'm not getting 13.2%. Like it actually flipped the script. It was like all boozy nose with not a ton of sweetness, and now it's more sweetness with not a lot of alcohol.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, there's very little, if any, warming in the chest area.
Not much on the palate either.
Slightly, and not much on the palate. I mean, this is for 13.2, as close of a crushable as you're going to get for a 13.2.
Yeah,
I guess you would say.
Yeah, I would say I'm perceiving, I guess, the alcohol. If there's alcohol stringency on the palate, I'm perceiving that as a dryness on the back of the palate, because it's all sweet up front, but it doesn't finish like super sweet. It has enough drying sensation and a little bit of that alcohol to kind of, it doesn't balance it out. I'm not going to sit here and say this is a balanced beer, but it's not crazy, crazy sweet.
It definitely has like 3 stages to it. Like as your first initial taste, then as you kind of swallow it, and then kind of the after warming sensation a little bit, at least for me anyway.
Yeah,
which I guess a 13.2 you should get a little warming sensation.
Yeah, there's no mistaking this is a bigger beer. If I was doing it blind, I'd peg this around 10%, maybe 10, 10 and a half. I wouldn't say 13.2 because that's
no.
I will say, like you said, there is stages. It's not, I wouldn't call this necessarily like a cohesive, like well-rounded beer as far as the flavor profile goes. Like right up front, I'm hit with a lot of chocolate and some vanilla. I was getting no vanilla basically in the aroma, but on the taste, getting like, I wouldn't tell you there's toasted cacao nibs in here. I just say sweeter chocolate, a little bit of vanilla. So it passes through the palate, a little bit of like a coffee, like acidic coffee for me. And then it finishes. I would almost, if I was doing this blind, I would almost think this has like some oak presence to it, like it was slightly oak aged, not necessarily barrel aged, because I'm getting what I perceive to be oak tannins that's kind of mixing with the dryness on the back of the palate.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm kind of getting, and again, I don't know if it's the cinnamon. What type of cinnamon did you say that was that they were using?
Ceylon cinnamon.
So maybe that is given the perception of a pepper type. Yeah, because to me, as it goes down and then as it set, as your mouth kind of starts drying out, I almost get that pepper flavor sensation to me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could mistake that for, like I'm saying, I know it's not oak aged, but maybe that's the cinnamon playing on with the dryness. Maybe it's the coffee. Maybe there's a lot of things it could be, but I could totally see what you're saying. I'm not getting as much cinnamon, though, that I was getting in the nose, unfortunately. I feel like this was pretty big on the cinnamon, pretty big on the coffee, the nose. It's not so much in the taste for me. It's just on the finish.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, I'm not really getting it from the forefront, even passing through your tongue and your palate. Once it goes down, then it kind of, as it lingers, is when I'm kind of picking up some of that cinnamon pepperish kind of flavor to me.
And yeah, and this is fresh, so I doubt the pepper's coming from like the coffee. A lot of times when coffee ages, you get green pepper. This isn't green pepper. This is like an actual chili pepper, like something that has spice to it, but it's not really spicy. It's almost like you got the habanero flavor without the actual spiciness of it. That's kind of the sensation I'm getting, or like a jalapeno or something. The body though, this is big and thick, not like super viscous, but it's like syrupy for me. The body.
Oh yeah, and as you swirl around the glass, I mean
it coats
it clings to the sides.
Mouthfeel
all around.
Yeah, mouthfeel super soft and creamy. This isn't overcarbonated. I think it has a proper carbonation to it, and it's I love the body mouthfeel on this. This is kind of what, if I'm drinking a 13.2% Imperial Stout with all these adjuncts and ingredients, like I want it to be kind of like a smooth and creamy beer, because you're drinking a big decadent beer, I wouldn't necessarily call this a dessert beer, even though it's sweeter, but it is a big, rich beer, and I kind of want the carbonation dialed back and it to be smooth and creamy.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as saying dessert beer either. And it is smooth and creamy. It's got a lot of complexity to it with different flavors that carry through. It's very well made. It's a nice beer.
Yeah. I agree. I'll go to the comments and then we'll give our final thoughts and rate it on my terrible out of 5 scale. We have Eric Linesfeld says, "You guys look good on my 50-inch Samsung TV, LOL." Eric, don't ever watch any of my reviews on a 50-inch screen. Let me just say that right from the get-go. I'm sure Todd would agree.
Mm-hmm.
Never. Rod says,
as Joe, as you would say, that's on Eric.
That is, unfortunately, it's consistently on him, because apparently he watches all YouTube videos on that TV. Rod says, "All about the inches, LOL." Let's keep it classy, Rod. Let's keep it classy. This is a PG-13 shit show. I guess it's not anymore. Guess it's not. Eric Gilbert says, "Highly sessionable." Honestly, I know you're joking around, Eric, because all you do is troll, which I appreciate, and I love you checking out the live streams, and it's just, you're an awesome viewer. But even with that troll, I would say this is somewhat of a sessionable 13.2% Imperial Stout. It's somewhat complex, but it has everything that I probably want from this beer. Outside of, I'm not getting all of the adjuncts, but like at 13.2%, yeah, I'm going to drink this entire bottle, and the beer flow show is going to be a mess.
I mean, in the short time we've been on, I've almost drank my whole, not that it was a whole glass, but I've got about a swallow and a half left of it, maybe. And to me, at 13 and 13.2 for an Imperial Stout, it's very crushable.
And that's the thing. At 13.2, you expect these breweries to, you expect big flavor explosions, because you're using so much malt and you have all these ingredients. I would say, it's not as flavorful as I thought it would be. It's complex, but it's not like all these flavors are punching you in the mouth. This is actually like an easygoing 13.2% Imperial Stout. It sounds so stupid saying that, but it's the truth.
But it is the truth.
Yeah. So rating, what would you give this out of 5, Todd? I feel like we're going to be in the same realm.
I would give this 4.75, probably all day.
Wow. Okay. Maybe we're not in the same realm.
Just because I think it's the complexity of it, and it's not a full body, but body enough, but it's creamy, and I don't know. I'm just at 13.2%, it's going down easy, and I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I know that's a great rating. I am not quite to that level. I was actually going to give it between a 4.25 and a 4.5. I'd say like if I'd go exactly like a 4.4, 4.35. So I'm not that far off from you. The things I love about this is at 13.2% easy to drink. I am getting most of the adjuncts. I do want more intensity to the overall flavors. Like I want a little bit more cohesive overall profile. I think when you said like each sip is in stages, that's complex, because you're getting 3 different, like up front and whatnot. But I don't think all the flavors for me personally meld together like perfectly. I think they're a little bit jumbled, just again on my palate. But again, you're splitting hairs. This is a great beer. Whether you're giving it a 4.35 like me or 4.75 like Todd, this is definitely like an A beer for sure. And it's delicious. And the thing about Other Half is, like we said earlier on, Todd and I haven't had a lot of Other Half, and I want to try all of the Other Half stouts now, because this is making a good impression. This is much better than when I had it on tap. Again, that was 2-3 ounces. It was ice cold. This one warming up to almost room temperature for me. It's pretty delicious. So.
And what I think maybe might have pushed my score a little bit higher is because all I've had primarily is IPAs from them. So I wasn't really sure what to expect and how they were going to pull it off. And to me, I mean, it was a home run for them. For me, it kind of puts them even a notch above what I thought they were. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
it's not just a one-trick pony now that I've had, and now I had something else before, but something else more into the realm of also have an IPA in a wheelhouse being a Imperial Stout.
mm-hmm. Well, kind of like 450
pull it
North.
off.
Yeah, kind of like 450 North, where they do IPAs, they do the fruit beers, and they do the stouts. Well, I will say, I hope that they start bringing more like of their. I know they've done Kolsch's before and things like that, non-adjunct beers. I always want to see like a brewery's Pilsner, a brewery's Kolsch, just to see how well they can make just a normal, regular style that's hard to make. Like a Pilsner is not an easy beer to make. You know, with off flavors and stuff, very easy. You can't cover it up with 75 different adjuncts. So I wanted to try more, Kolsch's from Other Half, because I think that's primarily what they do when it comes to, like the lighter drinking beers. And I'd like to see you talking about 450 North and sending me some of their beers that, some of their shelf turds, so to speak, or some of their easier to get like shelf beers. I would like to see what other stuff they do outside of, the 3 or 4 styles that are popular as well.
Yeah, and even as I say that, or as you say that, even those beers kind of on Untapped are getting anywhere from 4 to 4.25. So it's,
Yeah. So
can't beat that for a regular distro. The only thing that they don't really date their cans, so it's kind of hesitant to get some of those things.
That is true, and like I said, that's the good thing about Other Half, all their cans and stuff. But all their stuff's brewery only. I will say I'm disappointed that I do not see a bottle on date on here, and I guess that's just because most people buy their stuff and probably drink it relatively fresh. And more often than not, when you buy some kind of adjunct beer, you're gonna drink it fresh anyway. But I would still like to know how old this is. I do know, like I said, they released it like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, something like that. So it has to be pretty damn fresh. And I would say based on the taste, I'm getting most of the stuff, even though it's not to the intensity that I want. So I'd imagine it's fresh.
Now, you said you had this on tap a couple 2 or 3 months ago. Is this one that they only put out annually, or do you
rotating? It's rotating.
Okay.
And when the one I had on tap, at least according to the board of the place I was, it said it was 12%. This one's 13.2. So there is discrepancies, I guess, on each batch based on the ABV. I do think the ingredients are the same each time, but I don't know if the ABV fluctuates. It seems like it does. So
now, one thing I would say I would have liked to have seen a little more of is the vanilla.
Yeah, I got a little bit on the front of the palate with that chocolate on the taste, but in vanilla, it's easy to overdo it. Like I drank that fresh fruit you sent me from 450 North, and it was like that was all the vanilla. Like it usually whenever I see vanilla in a beer, there's usually a lot of it. Like it's hard to miss. So I don't know how much they're using. On the label, it is it's the third ingredient. So maybe they're using more of the coffee and cocoa as opposed to the actual vanilla, and that would make sense based on the taste.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway,
although the cinnamon being the 4th one on there dominates more than the fourth listed ingredient.
Yeah, and I think cinnamon. I think cinnamon is one of those spices that you can kind of get carried away with, where you might not think you're using a lot, but then you have it in a beer and you're like, holy shit, this is a lot of cinnamon. Because usually cinnamon in beers, they pop more often than not. We'll do one more check of comments and then shut it down. We have Rajay says, looks to be a solidly decent beer, though. Well, according to Todd, it's like world class or approaching world class. And I'm not far behind. I think it's pretty good. Head coach says, hello, fellow CBC. Hi, head coach. Appreciate you stopping.
Hello, head coach.
We have the Share a Beer crowd that joins once in a while, him and Earth and Bum. So yeah, anyway, I gave it like a 4.35. Todd gave it a 4.75. It's a damn good beer. I'm glad I was able to send this one to you so we could do something like this, because it is a rarity to get it. And let me just say, price point, it's a bit steep. I might have said this to Todd because like I don't buy a lot of their stouts, because this one bottle is the equivalent of one of their 4-packs basically of their IPA. So you're talking 16 to 18 bucks for just this 500 milliliter bottle. You're talking a 16.9 ounce bottle for 16 to 18 bucks. That's, almost $1 an ounce, over $1 an ounce. So I don't buy a lot of their beers. If I do, I usually buy 1 or 2 bottles, and I usually hook someone up with it. This time it was Todd, because we don't try their stouts. And it's like, you're always sending IPAs out. You're always trying to, you know, send out whatever, you know, people like, I know Todd loves New England style IPAs. I know he loves Other Half, but I wanted to send something different. It was cool to do this and get to try a different style from them that we haven't experienced too much. So I think it was fun from that aspect, but it is pricey.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did. I appreciate you sending it out, especially at that price point. You didn't have to do that, but I greatly appreciate it and loved, you know, trying something outside of the IPAs that they've done. So
yeah, but you have a lot of IPAs.
I do appreciate it.
You have a lot of IPAs.
Yeah.
Maybe some tonight if it's, you know, I don't know if it's a great idea, but maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. So appreciate everybody stopping by. I will say for everybody out there, the Pauls and Eric Gilberts and the Sadiqs and all those guys that, you know, bust my chops for Other Half, they're definitely going to be on the channel going forward. I can get their stuff easy. I drink their stuff. I'll probably do like one review from them a week, maybe one every 2 weeks, but I have a lot of beers from them that I get. So still going to review them. I'm hoping I can get my hands on different beers like this. So it's not just New England style IPAs all the time, but they make some good beer. I also have a bunch of 450 North beers coming courtesy of Todd. I've already reviewed half the beers he sent my way. I have the slushies left. I'm going to split them with Average Pops, and we're going to see how they are. I imagine they're delicious.
Pretty good. They're pretty good.
Pretty fucking delicious.
Yeah.
So,
right.
yeah, they're all right. Yeah, I'd give them like a 2 out of 5 at best.
Yeah.
Are they? That's just you know, if they're beer or not. You know, we don't know if they're beer anymore. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate Todd, you stopping by. I always like having you on, even though you don't have, you know, you're not technically a beer tuber and have your own channel. You always do a great job, and I always appreciate you hopping over here. And
I appreciate you inviting me.
Always good, sir. And I appreciate everybody else.
Have a good time.
Yeah, you always do. Even if I'm interrupting Todd's Indiana game tonight, college basketball game, he's a trooper. He's going to come on. You know, people are texting him. Things are going nuts. But he has enough laser focus to focus on this beer review, and I appreciate that.
I ain't gonna lie. I did kind of glance at the TV a couple times, but
I saw
most of my focus has been on you. Don't worry.
I saw it, and I can't believe it. Anyway, I do appreciate Todd coming on. I appreciate all the viewers stopping by. Everybody who watches this on the I guess the you know, recorded after it's live. I appreciate everybody stopping by. And until the next one, cheers, everybody. And thanks again, Todd. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.